Week 1 of the 2025 NFL season is here, and we've got a major divisional matchup in Week 1 between the two favorites to win the NFC South in 2025, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. And Dalton, one of the issues with the Buccaneers defense in 2024 was covering the middle of the field, and this year the Falcons could take advantage of that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, look, Kirk Cousins in Atlanta got a lot of criticism last year, and rightfully so, and then eventually he got benched. But I'll tell you what, the two games he played against Tampa Bay were his two best of the season, and the big reason is that, and the Bucs, it wasn't just against the Falcons. They struggled all season to defend the middle of the field. Now, there's multiple reasons for this. Look, Levante David's getting a little bit older. Their weak side linebacker, Servassier Dennis, he was hurt most of the year, didn't play in either game against Atlanta. Antoine Winfield was battling injuries. Jordan Whitehead just had a lot of pieces in the middle of the Bucs defense. Just didn't play that well last year. Right now, there could be a bounce back in store, but if you look at the way they played last year, now this is covering between the numbers on the field, all right? 45.1 coverage grade, 25th in the NFL. Not great. Second worst EPA per pass allowed. Bottom 8 in pretty much everything. Worst passer rating allowed in the NFL, almost 117. You just can't have this. And then you look at how bad these numbers were. These are season-long numbers, so this was a consistent problem week in and week out. Then you look at him play Atlanta in those two games. Well, that's even worse. I mean, you look at the Falcons. This is Kirk, and this is Kirk Cousins. This isn't Michael Penix, so there is going to be a different element of Michael Penix, young quarterback, playing against Todd Bowles, maybe new personnel, but this you just can't have if you're Tampa Bay. 86.4 passing grade last year for Kirk Cousins against the Bucs, throwing between the numbers. Completing almost 82%, 11 yards for every time you drop back to throw. It's first down. It's that simple. 4 touchdowns, and they're getting it out quick. They know where it's going. It's predictable. Just under 2.5-second average time to throw there. This is the big problem, I think, in the passing game. Obviously, it's a problem to stop the run and Bijan Robinson and all that stuff. But if the Bucs can't cover better in the middle of the field, especially against this team, and Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator, wants to attack it, it's going to be a problem again. They have to be better in this area of the field if they're going to win this game in Week 1.
Let's show some examples from those two games last year. What went right for the Falcons? What went wrong for the Buccaneers?
So I think it really is a lot of what went wrong for the Buccaneers. And again, I know they had injuries. There were times where there was young guys playing, but even some of their more veteran guys, it was just a struggle. I don't think the Falcons did anything that complicated necessarily. It's just that the Bucs, especially in zone coverage, not executing. All right, so let's start at the top of the screen here, okay? Really, we'll go with the whole thing. We're going to get a corner out here, we're going to get it out here, and we're going to get a deep out here, and we're going to get Kyle Pitts kind of sneaking in and just finding a hole in the zone, maybe right in here, okay? It's going to be pretty obvious cover 3 look here from the Bucs, okay? So we're looking, can we attack between some of these linebackers? Now, it's pretty simple. Look, I think with the back set to this side, Levante David and the curl flat guy here obviously have to keep an eye on Robinson back here, but somebody has to get right in here on Kyle Pitts. And here's the problem with all of this and what happens. Here's the problem. Bijan Robinson stays in protection. He's chipping. He doesn't run an immediate route. Fine. The curl flat, I don't have an issue with here needing to widen just to make sure you close off that lane up there. And so you can see some space here for Kyle Pitts. So, in theory, Levante both with his eyes on the back. Really, it should be on the back into this number 2 receiver. That's where he should be looking. Instead, one thing I see too much of from this Bucs defense. Zone defense is not just about staring at the quarterback. It's just not going to have. You have to match receivers. You have to be aware of routes and where they're at. When you stare at the quarterback, Kirk Cousins is looking off to his left here. Why? Because he knows there's a tendency from these two guys right here to start drifting. Start drifting this way. He's setting us up. There's not a chance in the world Kirk Cousins throwing this ball left. No way. He already knows pre-snap where he's going with this. He's just got to create that space with his eyes. What ends up happening? Levante David, you just saw him before. He was about here, 2 yards outside the hash. Shoulder fake, got him. He's now 1 yard inside the hash. Look at this gap, this giant gap of space here. It's a problem. Too easy a throw over the middle of the field, and there's no reason to just be staring at Kirk Cousins. Find the receivers, figure out the concept, close the space off. That's a free first down. Next one. Here we go. We're going to have another example here. Now, we're going to get the motion going out here. This is going to be a snag. They're going to drop into cover 4 here. So, what is supposed to happen? Quarter, moving to that side of the field. Quarter. Cool. Now, this motion puts us in a 3-by-1. Curl flat out here. That's fine. He's got the flat. This motion guy is going to get out here. He's going to widen with the widest guy. No problem there. You're going to get a corner here. And you're going to get Drake London on this little spot route right here. It's called the snag concept right here. We got this corner and you got this little hitch right in here. Now, alarm bells should be going off for this middle linebacker already. We're in 3-by-1, and with Robinson in the pistol, we could be in a 4-by-1. That's a possible scenario here if he releases that way. What should he be doing? And he's pointing to it with the motion. What should he be doing? Widening to get right in here in this window in the hitch, right? Widen, you have to open to the 3-receiver side. What does he do? He stays flat. There's no widening. He's just dropping straight back and staring at Kirk Cousins, and Cousins already knows, look, now this curl flat's trying to get back, but he had to widen with the widest. We already know this is getting vertical. This is opening up right here. Nobody's even out of their breaks yet. Cousins knows, I have the space. Why are we not widening? Understand the coverage. Understand your assignment. Again, all this space. We still haven't got, the ball is there, and we still haven't moved off of this same lateral position. Look, it's just widening further, and it's a free first down. Just get understanding coverages, especially the side. Okay, so I've ripped on the linebackers. Okay, I get it. All right, it's not just the linebackers, though. Again, understanding your assignment, even in the secondary. Cover 3. Pretty easy look. Not 2 tight ends, but close enough to it, right? Bijan in motion. He's going to run a wheel. Now what they're going to do, we're going to get a wheel, we're going to get a curl. There's some play action in the backfield. Now, how the Bucs are communicating this, and this is fine to run it like this. Antoine Winfield here. He's going to run with Bijan on the wheel, basically turn this into man-to-man coverage. It's cover 3 in the structure. We're going to match this up, though, on that side with the motion. It's a good adjustment. Okay, cool. He's going to run with Bijan. That means basically, yes, you're bailing into a deep third, this corner here, but you pretty much just have to match this curl. Just match it, run, go man-to-man. If we're carrying there, carry here and match it up. 2-man concept. We get here. We can see it already. Winfield, nice job. No problem here. Stay over the top. Too much space. We're bailing like we're still in a deep third. You need to match. And we're just looking back at the quarterback. Again, too much space. You get to this curl. That's plenty of separation. Can't have it. Look at this. Too much cushion. Free first down. So even in the secondary, understanding your assignment, especially when there's motion on. Winfield's fine. Normally in that defense, he's got the curl flat. He's going to stay low. But with that motion and the momentum, there's no problem here carrying this. This is the problem. Too much separation. 3 for 3. Free first down. Let's get another one. It's all over the place. So you can go through all. It's all over the place with Atlanta and Tampa here. Okay. Now, here you go, Max. Cover 6. Flat down here in the corner. Sitting here, dropping off. Okay, that's fine. Deep half from this safety. Cover 6, when I talk about this, it's cover 2 on that side of the field. Mm-hmm. It's cover 4 on this side. Okay, 4 plus 2 is what, Max?
6.
Fantastic. Glad you're still here. This linebacker's dropping. Here we go. We're showing pressure. We're dropping into cover 6. Now, what you're going to get on this side, 3-by-1 again. London's going to get here. This receiver's going to get out. We're going to flood this zone on this side, okay? Now, guy I want to talk about here. Now, this is my best player on my defense, Antoine Winfield, right? When you're in quarters and you're on that side of a 3-by-1, what you're really looking for is any sort of deep crosser coming this way, all right? Now, if Kyle Pitts here, because he's the third guy, if he breaks out like he's going to run a corner. If you see that he's going to go straight up or break out, get back and help me on this side. Because what's going to happen down here at the bottom? Vertical, corner, post. Getting right behind him, okay? Lack of discipline with the eyes, okay? We get up here. Kyle Pitts getting straight up vertical. He's not making that direct beeline, but even then, why are our hips turned? We shouldn't be turned. We should be square to the line of scrimmage with eyes on him. We shouldn't be turned. And all of a sudden, what you've created with Winfield turning his back to this receiver is a one-on-one opportunity with Darnell Mooney, and he's a pretty good vertical receiver. Understanding not just what your primary assignment is, then how to break off of it and help and prevent an explosive play. We're leaning too hard. Leaning way too hard for a guy that's eventually going to come out to the corner, sneak right behind him. That's exactly how this play is designed. All Cousins has to do, look, he's looking to his right first. He knows he's got to look off Winfield. And if he does it, he's got him over the top. Eventually, separation. Holy crap, I didn't get back to him. Beaten one-on-one inside. Touchdown. Right in there. Knowing your assignments in the secondary. It's a player issue. The first 4 plays I've showed you is a player issue. The last one I'm going to show you is a play calling one, a coaching one. Todd Bowles loves his pressure. He loves all sorts of different types of pressure. And the Falcons beat it. And a veteran quarterback in Kirk Cousins beat it. Now, if Michael Penix can learn from this tape, from the Cousins tape, and Cousins is still there. He's his backup. He could talk to him about this. Last concept. Here's what you're going to get. Just trying to find a successful play. Curls, just kind of stop routes all the way around, right? That's all we're doing. We're just trying to make something good happen on first down here. I believe it's the first play of the first game, or early in the first game. What you're going to get, pressure. Send in both of these linebackers. And then we're rotating out. Linebacker dips out, fire zone that way. And this is Yaya Diaby. This is my best one-on-one pass rusher. I'm dropping him into the zone, which is all fine and dandy, okay? But if we do wind up picking this up, what I have now, you know who's this? This is Drake London, best receiver. So what I have now is if this pressure doesn't get here, I've got a defensive end, a good one at that, but a defensive end on Drake London. It's too easy. If you pick up the protection, it's a wrap. It's just too easy. You can see it already. He doesn't stand a chance. He's a good player. Yaya Diaby's a good player. Doesn't stand a chance here. All Drake London's got to do is find space. And David's momentum is working him this way with the way this fire zone is. It's a zone coverage, essentially cover 3 with a 5-man rush here, call it a fire. And you can already see Drake London. He's like, okay, all I have to do is work around a defensive end. Kirk is darn well protected. This all got picked up. That's beautiful right there. And again, too easy. Too easy. There's not a chance in the world, I don't care what's happening, that a defensive end is going to cover Drake London inside in the slot right there. There's just too many easy completions. So it's players at the linebacker level, it's players at the secondary level, and I think there's even at times a couple of these guys, like in this example, there's times with these pressures and simulated pressures and things like that where Todd Bowles asks certain guys to do too much.
Yeah.
Play to the fundamentals. You can't get torched over the middle of the field again, or it's going to be. And now there could be even more space because Penix has a much bigger arm than Cousins. So you got to work. They got to learn on their. They got to work on their spacing and how to manage the middle of the field against this Falcons team.
And the Buccaneers enter this Week 1 game as road favorites too. So the Falcons are going to pull off a Week 1 quote-unquote upset, attacking the middle of the field once again. Could be the path for them.